Where in a democratic society does art end and obscenity begin, and who should decide?
I f all the girls and I make them cry. I'm like a dog getting beat, a freak without warning. I have an appetite for sex, cause me so funky.
Hollywood, Florida, members of Two Live Crew arrested, charged with obscenity. Huntsville, Alabama cancels their concert.
You don't tell us what we can do and say around adults. The adult has the right to listen to what they want to listen to.
Campbell claims his music is artistic and cultural expression, a reflection of the nasty streets. But in Fort Lauderdale, a record store owner is arrested for selling the album after a federal judge declared it obscene. The issue of sexually explicit language in records echoes a broader debate over censorship and whether the government should be defining what is art.
How can you engage in sadomasochism, homoeroticism, the sexual exploitation of children or individuals engaged in you-know-what, without its being obscene?
It all started with two exhibits partly financed by the National Endowment for the Arts, photographs by Robert Mapplethorpe and Andre Serrano's Crucifix in a Jar of Urine.
The majority of American people do not want their tax money used to fund this obscene and indecent artwork.
Defenders of the endowment say that in 25 years, fewer than 20 federal grants have been controversial. But conservatives in Congress are now trying to impose restrictions.
No artist has a preemptive claim on the tax dollars of the American people to put forth such trash.
The right wing was struggling there for a while. The issues that kept them going and kept the direct mail coffers fed were fading from the scene. And then all of a sudden, you know, here is this, the arts issue.
Should the government fund controversial art? We'll ask theater producer Joseph Papp and Congressman Dana Rohrabacher. And we'll talk with Two Live Crew's lawyer and artist Andre Serrano. What's art and what's obscene? An issue facing the nation.
From CBS News, Washington, Face the Nation with Leslie Stahl. This portion of Face the Nation with Leslie Stahl is sponsored by the Archer Daniels Midland Company. ADM, supermarket to the world.
Urban ozone. Smog. A reminder that hangs in the air over our cities. A reminder that although we've come a long way towards solving our pollution problems, we still have a long way to go. But now there's new hope on the horizon. Gasoline blended with pure grain ethanol. In study after study, grain ethanol blends have lowered carbon monoxide emissions by 25% or more, which in turn helps hold down the ozone pollution in our cities. Cleaner air is something we all want, and pure grain ethanol blends can play a part in achieving this goal. Now that's one fact that ought to be perfectly clear. ADM, supermarket to the world.
Late last night, Luther Campbell of Two Live Crew pulled out of his scheduled interview with us, he says, on the advice of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's now giving the group guidance. We talked instead this morning with their lawyer, Bruce Rogo. A judge in Florida has, in effect, banned the Two Live Crew album. Is this unprecedented?
It is, Ms. Stahl. It's the first time that a record has ever been declared to be obscene, certainly in the history of the United States.
It's the first time with all the music and rock and roll songs about explicit sex that we've had in the past. This is the very first time?
It is. It is. For the most part, what you've had are small communities complaining about certain rock and roll artists, but this is the first time that a federal judge has ever declared something to be obscene in the record industry. Now, he did not ban it, Ms. Stahl. He just declared it to be obscene. It's the sheriff who took that as an invitation to go ahead and engage in the ban.
But by the Supreme Court definition of what is obscene, do you agree that the words, the content of this music, which in effect, as I've read these lyrics, are all about sexual abuse of women. Is it obscene?
No, it's not obscene, Ms. Dahl, and I thought we had proved that in the court. We had unrebutted expert testimony that there was serious artistic value to the music, including the use of the lyrics as part of reinforcement of the beat of the music. There's a cultural gap here. A lot of the words in this music are not meant to be taken literally. And I think one of the things that's happened here, and this is a cultural, racial kind of an aspect of this, is that they've been taken much too seriously by the white community. As Mr. Campbell has often said, until this music crossed over into the white community, no one complained. And I'm not denying that the words are not crude and vulgar. They are, but they reflect a kind of ghetto patois that Mr. Campbell had heard growing up, and this is part of the art form of communicating to the world what some people in the world are thinking and doing.
Tell us a little bit more about the sheriffs in Florida who are banning this and arresting store owners who continue to sell it.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Miss. Only one sheriff has really taken it that far, and that's the sheriff in Broward County. He arrested the record seller, Charles Freeman. He arrested the band, or 3 members of the band, on Saturday night for singing the same lyrics, and the judge's order did not cover singing the lyrics in a live show for adults. But the sheriff has taken it that far and threatened to take it farther. He's even said that if you play the music in your car, you're subject to arrest. So he's really taken
What?
it to...
If you play the music in your car, you, the person who's driving the car and playing the music, will be arrested?
Exactly. You'll be arrested because...
For listening?
For listening, because you're participating in this